You are a person on YouTube. You have Googled self stick and poke tattoo. You have found a video of someone doing self stick and poke tattoo. This is the part where I sanitize everything, which is important. Normally I put more of that in the video, but make sure stuff is clean. Any video that doesn't tell you to keep your stuff clean is not a video that you should be watching. I put these lines down at the beginning of June. I went back and touched them up about 3 weeks later. First thing I did was fixing some of these lines because they are not great lines, as you may surmise with your visual cortex that you are currently using. Unless you're blind, unless for some reason you're consuming YouTube videos of people doing tattooing even though you can't see tattoos. But yes, I wrote myself these very detailed notes about what I would like to talk about with you, YouTuber person, fellow internet entity. But I wrote my notes in red ink because I like to self-sabotage. It keeps life interesting. And now I'm just going to talk to you about whatever because I can't read this for the life of me. I believe my first note was like, maybe wear gloves when you're disinfecting your environment. I don't think that's something I did. But who cares? I'm sitting in my room, you know? I'm not in a tattoo parlor. I'm not doing an apprenticeship. I'm not doing this correctly. I'm doing this how I'm doing it. We're doing it live. So before I start, I use rubbing alcohol on everything I may touch. Every single surface that I might touch with my gloves. My cell phone, my computer mouse, all of the materials I'm using for the poke all get wiped down with alcohol. And then obviously stuff gets wrapped with saran wrap because there are lots of little crevices in your desk and in your stuff that you don't know about. So saran wrap's just extra sanitation. I feel like some kind of substitute teacher that's just nagging you, that just like, make sure everything's clean. What are you gonna do? You gonna sue me? What are you gonna sue some YouTuber cause you got an infection from poking yourself with a needle and some ink? Note to self, stop being condescending and telling people to clean their stuff. I'm just trying to set a good example, okay?
I don't want someone to show up in my comments and tell me I'm doing something wrong, because that'll hurt my feelings and I care what other people think.
So here we are. We've started filling in with an ink that is an 80% value ink. I've kind of talked about them in a past video. They are a pain in the butt, and I don't think I'm going to be purchasing anymore in the future. Probably just going to stick with making my own gray washes. But again, this whole stick and poke thing is an experiment. So this 80% gray ink, feasibly that means it's like 20% white ink, it's very difficult for me to put down. This is intense brand ink, and it's very thick, and I'm still not sure if that's an ideal quality in tattoo ink, if I want it thicker, if I want it thinner. I might have just gotten comfortable with my liner ink that's a lot thinner. So we ended up doing 2 sittings of just trying to get this 80% ink into my leg. I actually end up starting a little bit of white ink in this first sitting, and then it dawned on me that it's Tuesday and it's my Dungeons and Dragons day, and that I have to clean up my desk so that I can pretend to be, you know, a mushroom spellcaster, because priorities, you know? You gotta live your life. So it was kind of bugging me for a few weeks. I had like 30 little white pokes in here. So like I said, I'm using value ink, and the other thing I decide to do with this particular tattoo is fill in part of it white. And I could probably spend a lot of time talking to you about white ink, but I need to wait until my next video so that I can accurately tell you what happens with the healing process. I was talking to some people on Reddit, and you just should not color fill with white. A lot of people say it fades. I'm also just super pale, so it just might not show up. But a lot of people were saying it turns yellow and stuff, which, I mean, it's fine. All ink is going to change color. You're seeing the ink through your skin, so I feel like you have to keep that in mind. Like, all tattoos are going to change. Not only fade, but the color's going to change. Really wish I could read my notes that I wrote for myself. That would make this much easier. Much easier. Some other... If you're watching this for educational purposes, I believe the needle that I was using was an 8-round shader. I kind of want to start doing color packing with liners, I think. I think I want to save shaders for when I'm doing textures. I'm curious what other people color pack with. If a liner versus a shader is a preference for anybody else. But if you're watching this for educational purposes, one thing that I believe I'm doing incorrectly still is I'm not cleaning my needle often enough. There goes the white. Here goes my less than 100 pokes that I had to stop because time is unrelenting. Clean your needles. I have a little cup of water that I'll swish the needle around in, but I think ink might still be dry. It's very hot. It's quite dry here where I am physically in the vicinity of where I live. And so I think a lot of ink is drying up between the needles, and that might be causing me problems. I don't know. Look at this leg. Look at this. Look at this crazy person on the internet that's like straight up tattooing their own. This person that you're looking at did all this themselves, and they still haven't told their mom. Pretty sure the mom knows though, because the mom was looking at this person's leg the last time they were together. But nobody's saying anything about it. So if you're my mom and you're here on YouTube, I'm going to talk to you about this soon, I promise. Anyways, back to I don't know what anything is. I've had horrific brain fog, and I don't know who I am or where I'm going. All I know is I put this art on my leg and it makes me smile. So I spent a considerable amount of time trying to put this white down. And as you may have noticed already, it's just turning red. It's just getting really irritated. And I can't see shit. That's actually why I went to Reddit. I was like, Reddit, how do I keep the redness down so I can actually see what I'm doing? I probably did 4 or 5 passes of white, and I can't see it. And even now, I am currently a week healed after this, and it's still kind of red and irritated, which is... it's a mood. That's a thing. It can be happening, I suppose. So I have no... What's nice is I did this in this little tiny tattoo instead of going and filling in my skeleton. Because for all I know, this would have just been a waste of my time to try to fill in my skeleton. So, blah, 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 blah. This little origami boat float tattoo will need another sitting because so far we've got the 80% value, the 0%, and there needs to be a 40% value in some of the shadow on the boat. So you'll get to see it in the future, what it looks like with the white totally healed. But now we're going back and we're filling in more of that 80% that didn't quite take. And it's fun stuff. It's good times. It's real fun. I actually was talking, I have a friend who, I don't know why, he was like showing these videos to my old boss. I guess like I posted a video when they were like hanging out bored at work. And he's like, oh look, this person we used to work with is tattooing their leg now. So that's a thing that I have been told, which is strange to think about. But yeah, my friend was showing this to my old boss, and he apparently thought it was pretty badass. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I had a point. I know I had a point. I lost my point. Look at this illegible script in front of me. What a time, boys and girls. What a time. What a time. I once again would like to say I appreciate Reddit for their honesty, and I appreciate YouTube for your freaking, like, wholesome positivity. I might have said this in the past, but I have an Instagram account. I'm an Instagram thought. I'm from Los Angeles. Everybody here is a model. That's just the way it goes. You're either a photographer or you're a model, and I'm both because I don't know how to stay in my lane. And so I'm very extra, and I have, I don't know, like 900, no, I think I hit 1,000. I think I'm at 1,000 for, 1,000 followers on Instagram. And it's just vapid and empty, and people that I network with will leave me emojis, and it means nothing to me, and the number of likes means nothing to me, and people who know me in person are like, all they care about is Instagram likes, and I'm like, oh, okay, apparently you know me better than I know myself. And I have never understood what people were judging me for, until I started doing this YouTube thing, because YouTube is being so supportive and so wonderful and so fabulous, and I just want to say I appreciate you guys. Look at all these value inks. Look at them. Now they're gone. You can't see them anymore. So we're time traveling now, because I wanted to open my video with some cleaning footage with disinfecting things. Again, I would like to lead as a good example. This is actually something I did back in mid-June, and I was very cautious. That's how we'll put it. We'll put this cautiously. It's supposed to be a black rat. He's supposed to be a black plague rat. And I will be honest with you, I got scared. I was very nervous, and I didn't want to mess him up because I love him. His name is Benjamin, and I love him. He is my favorite tattoo now. And I want him to be done, but I also didn't want to fuck him up. So I knew that he was getting red in his eye. This is also the first time I've used color ink. I want to do more, but I just personally am not big on color, so I don't know what to put on myself. In the past, I've complained about Mom's brand ink. This is Mom's brand. I did not have a problem with it this time. It was a very, very tiny area, but I would like to formally take back what I said about Mom's brand. This guy was fine. And then I go in and I start trying to do some shading. I had this, I wanted to bite off more than I could chew. I wanted to make this fur texture in the rat and did not know how to do that. And do you know what you do, boys and girls? You get a silicone sheet and you practice. That's what you do. You practice it. But am I gonna practice? No, I'm a lazy piece of shit. I have moved. That was called September, October, November. That was when we were, now we're doing it. Now we're doing it. I'm also insane. But, thank you for listening to me talk out of my ass at you for 10 minutes straight. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. And I truly hope, as I say all the time, if you are doing stick and poke tattoos yourself, you're A, safe, B, I so hope you're happy with what you're doing for yourself, because I'm really thrilled. I haven't felt like I've been truly able to do anything for myself in a long time, and this has been very fulfilling, and I really, really love, I mean, it's going so slow. I've only done 6 tattoos on myself now, and I've been doing this for 8-9 months. Kind of expected more progress by now. I just keep redrawing the same things over and over again. I do have a separate Instagram page that I'm going to share more of the line arts with you. You can see the progress of my drawings. And you can also, another public service announcement, if you would like to use any of my drawings, my artwork, feel free. I am not comfortable with you profiting off of it. That would not be cool. Clearly, I can't stop you, though. But for anybody who finds these videos and goes, wow, I like that design, I think it's cool, bless your heart. You have my permission to put this on you or your friend. Like, that's so cool. So my plan is to get more of those drawings over onto Instagram so you guys can, like, use your monitors and, you know, trace from there, so it's a lot easier for you guys. It'd be great if this was a team effort, which I know I've said in the past. So let's talk more about the poking. It looks like I'm filling him in with, I don't know if that's the 80 or the 60%. I think it's just the 80%, and I just did one pass.
I'm currently in my backyard. My neighbors are right there, looking at their weird witch neighbor wondering what she's doing.
Cut myself off because I'm not paying attention. Yes, I only did one pass on the rat and we're coming back to the rat. But look at his little red eye. He's so cute. So at this point, he's healed over a month, about 5 weeks. So he's about as healed as he's gonna get. I'm very happy with his lines. His fur deserves another pass, but I'm not in any super rush to finish him off right now. But so far, I'd say he's like an 8 out of 10. He's the best tattoo I've done so far. I love him. I love Benjamin. You should love Benjamin too. Look at him. Look at his little face. Good job, Seth. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I did a good job there. When it comes to the float, as I previously stated, we're only healed a week and I am still red. So you can see where I put the white down. Doesn't look white. Okay, back to Real World Mads ranting about something that has nothing to do with this video because my neighbors spooked me, I guess, by me being spooky. Spooky all around. That wall right there, there's just another house like right there. And there's a family there. And that's fine. And we should all be able to get along. I just wanna talk to my imaginary friends on the internet and not feel judged. I mean, people on the internet can judge me. I'm putting myself on the internet. It's fine. But, like, I don't like that my neighbors get to judge me. Stop looking at me with your eyes. See, and then I'm just way too nice. If I could be standoffish or rude, then people would be like, oh, that's just a spooky person. But no, I look like this, and then I sound like a valley girl. Do you want a pirate mug, or do you want a Halloween mug? Those are the only two options in this household. You get spooky, or spooky. Skulls or skulls, which do you want? Skulls? Good choice, let me get you a mug. Here you go. This one's for you. This was my grandmother's mug. Yes, this was my grandmother's mug. No, she wasn't spooky, but black was her favorite color. Let me get you some cream real quick. Blended oats, blended oats. Not a sponsor, but I tried Not Milk last week, which is made of pea protein and pineapple juice and coconut and a bunch of other stuff, and looks more like milk than oat milk. And it was fine. It was pretty good. It was on sale, so that's why I got it. But now I'm just going back to oat milk. I don't really want to pay more than $4 for a milk beverage. And yes, I could blend my own oats, but I ain't about that. Someone give me a fancy Vitamix, please. A very nice mug of coffee for my very nice friend for staying to the end of my video. There you go. This one's for you. I'm gonna get one for me. Disguise me. This was my grandpa's mug. This was my grandmother's, and this was my grandpa's. This is a proper sized mug. Look, nothing personal, but you seemed a little jittery after my last rant, so you get the smaller cup of coffee. I'm gonna drink this one. Alright. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you. If you're doing your own stick and pokes, please be sanitary and safe. I love you. See you in probably another 3 weeks, because that's about how long it takes me to knock these out. Okay, bye!
Thank you for sticking it out through the end with my little coffee ASMR thing. Have a wonderful rest of your summer, if you're in the northern hemisphere, that is. God save the crazy people. God save the artists. May creativity and inspiration be with you always. Clicky clicky ASMR sounds, clicky.